Hey guys, welcome to MANIC Labs. I'm here to show you how to put a hole in the end of your throttle sleeve. I've got here an old throttle sleeve that's closed on the end, as we're going to see, and has a grip on it. And this is a common thing that you have to do if you bought some hollow tube bar end weights, because they depend on full access in the end of the handlebar tube in order to attach and snug down. First thing you need is either a narrow X-Acto knife or a really small pen knife like this, sharpened. It's good to lubricate the blade with this oil-soaked cloth so that it slides around in the rubber really nicely. What you do for starters is you want to expose the entire perimeter of the throttle sleeve to the end of the grip. So in this case it's a closed throttle sleeve, so you can feel sort of a shoulder where the throttle sleeve ends and the rubber's no longer backed up by the plastic. And you take a conservative guess on where that is, stick your knife in. Looks like I got it. So then you start to, oh wait, no, I'm running into it, so I got to go outboard just a little bit. You feel for it. There it is. And then you start cutting around the edge. If you're not confident fishing for the edge, you can also just cut a smaller circle and then work your way out from there. I keep hanging up on the throttle sleeve and then pulling the blade out. Ah, not bad. This particular throttle sleeve has little things that stick out to engage the grip, the factory grip. You may or may not be able to keep those. We'll have to see. Here's what a screwdriver's for. You take it with a hammer. There's the hammer. It's a little out of the field of view, but the plastic's brittle. So this is my favorite kind of bonehead method to do it. Can chip it away. Once we've got the easy chipping done, and see what we're left with. Now here's what you do if you've only got a pocket knife. I'll show you that. Now I guess I should add this disclaimer. These things, I mean, everyone's got them, but if you use them in a way you're not accustomed to, you could kill yourself. I'm serious. I mean, this can reach into your heart. It can reach into all kinds of arteries. Rule number one, if you're not familiar with exactly what you're doing with your pocket knife, is you don't cut toward any part of you, is number one. And secondly, if you're doing fine work, and this is fine work, it requires control. There's no way you're going to do this right just pushing on it with your hand. You need leverage, because if you push on it with your hand and it suddenly goes through, your hand will just overshoot and go somewhere else. It'll cut through the grip. That'll be no fun. So what you do is you hold it in one hand, but you put all your force in with your other thumb. And that way the thumb can stop forcing the second the knife gets its way. And you can just start whittling away at the stuff inside. Now, of course, if you want to go to the work of it, you can take off the throttle sleeve. You can disconnect the throttle cables up here and undo the control pod, get the throttle sleeve off. And then your friend the rat tail file will do the whole job, no problem. It's easy to do it once you actually have the throttle sleeve off, but you have to do a little more wrenching. But I have always done it on the bike. I would use the Dremel preferentially to doing what I'm doing right now, but obviously you can make headway. You can raise chips on this plastic and eventually you'll get it whittled down. And you see how it still overshoots when the knife goes through, but it can't overshoot too far because your thumb runs out of space to move. And that's how you get your safety and your precision. It's a little bit of this inside to do too. I think I'm going to rotate it. Might be able to hike it off a little bit too. Give yourself some breathing room. Beautiful thing about pocket knives is you can do things you're not exactly supposed to do to them, and you can sharpen them again. As you can see, if you've only got a penknife, your time commitment is probably reduced if you go after it by disassembling it and using the rat tail file. Though you never know. These tabs are unusual. They've got a whole lot of plastic to cut away, and that's not usually a factor. And a penknife is usually a far better option than it looks like with this particular grip. But you might as well see the kind of things that can surprise you. I've always been into telling people the reality of things. Okay, there you see that white area starting to extend into the inside of the throttle sleeve, and that's how you know that you're about out of there. Alright. The space in between is more representative of what you normally see. You see there's not much plastic there. Just goes away. Usually it's only about a 1/16 of an inch thick. So this is what you end up seeing. Now that would be a whole lot easier with a pocket knife. It's these stupid tabs. Another really good method that works the whole way out is a Dremel. You want a nice cylindrical burr. This one's a bit on the big side, which will be hard to start out with, but it'll be really nice as you hollow it out. Kind of goes like this. See how nicely that worked? The Dremel's just ideal for this. These things, I can't recommend these highly enough as a motorcycle maintenance tool. There's a million uses. So here's how it looks with the Dremel. You start out with this brick-like chunk, and I'm going to hollow it out so you can see the inside of the throttle sleeve, or the end of it. You go little by little. You're doing it by eye. You're doing it by feel. Safety glasses highly recommended. Compressed air's not bad either, but I can blow it. You can see there I kind of nicked the end of the handlebar a little bit. No big deal. So that's how you do it with a Dremel. Okay. Now you see that the throttle sleeve itself is completely hollowed out, because you can see the whole way around the handlebar tube. That's a really good start. Now we got to look back at the grip and see if it's got enough cut away. It looks like, yeah, the grip doesn't obscure any part of the inner perimeter of that throttle sleeve, and the surface of the grip out here is enough to engage the throttle lock collar. So this is probably going to work, though you can see this grip is a little old and shiny. That might reduce its friction enough to cause problems, so you might still need to replace the grip. And that's not hard to do if you have 85 psi of compressed air and a blowgun that doesn't have any vent holes in the sides. This is perfectly adequate for any hollow tube weight installation if you've got this look going. Good luck.